I can safely say that we have seen X-Men First Class 1 1/4 times.
What?
Because we walked into the wrong theater.
That wasn't a quarter. We didn't see a quarter. We just saw a tiny little...
Like 1 and 1...
Oh, who cares?
Yeah. We walked into the wrong theater. It was in the middle of the movie, and we're like, is this the trailer? No, this is the movie. We should probably go somewhere else. So that was a fun way to start that.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Here's the thing. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And basically all I was really hoping for is this, because after the last 2 X-Men movies, all I wanted was this for not to be bad. One. Really?
Tell you the truth, I was entertained by Last Stand, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, I can't. Honestly, I have it on my list to review. I don't even remember the Last Stand. I haven't bothered with it in so many years. I'm gonna have
the coolest thing is Magneto lifts up the Golden Gate Bridge at the end.
Oh, that's right. Right. I'm gonna have to watch that again just to figure out what pissed me off so much about it because I don't even remember. This one was okay. It was I thought it was a great deal more entertaining than the last 2 X-Men movie, especially the one that I can't remember. It was so boring. I think my biggest problem with this, I don't know that I liked the story very much. All they were really doing is just kind of playing around with the Cuban Missile Crisis and saying, it was really kind of about this and it was kind of about that. But that never really seemed to be what the movie was about. It was just kind of getting these kids together and having them kind of, either grow together or grow apart. The whole external plot was just kind of at the service of that, so that was kind of boring.
I think it was just kind of setting up for, humans going to war with mutants eventually, and showing how afraid they are and what they're willing to do because they're so scared of these people.
Yeah, this is the kind of first start movie, because this is kind of starting over or starting again. I don't know if it's a prequel or a reboot.
That's what I read.
Yeah,
it's a prequel.
But this is like the first Spider-Man movie for me, or the new Star Trek movie for me, where it's not bad. The problem is that they're setting up all the pieces on the board, but they're not playing yet. They're going to play in the next movie, and this is just setting everything up.
Well, they made a couple moves though to set up for the next.
Yeah, I think the next movie is
towards the mid game, you could say.
It's not to say that they didn't do anything in this movie. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of the parts that I liked were the parts where they were rounding up the mutants and we figure out what all their powers are and where they are and everything, and we get to see Xavier and Magneto working together, which was really kind of nice.
Yes, we got to see a nice cameo too, which was probably the funniest part of the movie.
A couple of them, yeah. The Wolverine cameo was really cool. I did not.
So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I didn't catch the Mystique, the original Mystique cameo. You had to tell me about that.
It was Rebecca Romijn.
Yeah,
when she changes forms to her when she's trying to she's trying to bang out Magneto.
I didn't notice that at all. That was really cool. But yeah, it was fine. I'm not jumping out of my chair about it. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I probably won't be thinking about it after a week.
Like I told you, the only thing I was kind of upset about with it was, really, because when I first heard about this movie, it said X-Men First Class, I was thinking, oh great, it's going to be all the originals from the first comic, and they're going to be fighting Magneto like in the first comic. I think one of my friends had a reprint of the first X-Men. I remember reading it. It's like, wow, this is, I didn't know anything about, I didn't realize, like, Angel, who was originally a dude with angel wings, was one of the originals, and, people like that. I know Iceman was one of the originals, too. And instead, they're using newer characters, most of them are very new. And so I was kind of upset about that, but at the same point, it's pretty clear that they're trying to make it even before the very first comic.
Yeah.
So, so I wasn't too disappointed. It's just, I kind of hate when they throw characters around like that and kind of throw everything off, but, I'm not going to be a stickler to, like how everyone else is.
Yeah, so you don't think that the fans of the comic are going to be pleased with what they did here?
The Uber fans? Hell no. Uber fans would be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't know shit about the comics. I've never really read them. problem was they did this great roundup scene, which I usually hate the roundup scenes.
Yeah.
This one was really kind of fun, but we never really got to know the people that they rounded up, like the girl with fairy wings.
Angel.
I can't even remember. I couldn't even remember her name.
Yeah.
I remember Darwin because his name was Darwin, but he dies and we're supposed to care, but I didn't know who the fuck he was, so I didn't.
I think
really
originally
care.
he was Puerto Rican too.
Is that right?
He's Hispanic some way.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh. I don't know. There were parts of this movie that I liked. The whole of it was really just kind of boring. I think that's its biggest problem, is that it really had a lot of starts and stops. When it got going, it was really fun, but then it would just drag after a while, and then it would get going again with something interesting.
Yeah.
It's
like any movie like this nowadays, you know.
Yeah, but if you think about like Batman Begins, that one had a really good story, and it also set everything up really well. The whole story was just kind of at the service of trying to set everything up to where they could make another really good movie after they set everything
that's
up.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood, the summer blockbuster. You know?
Yeah.
They're not trying to win any awards. They're just trying to take your money.
Yeah, well, they got it. But I don't feel like this was a waste of money or anything. It was just like I wouldn't see this twice.
Yeah.
I would see Batman Begins twice. I would see The Dark Knight twice.
It's like one of those, like if you're like at Target or something, you say, "Oh, DVDs for $5." Hey,
yeah, why not? It's $5. Yeah. I don't know about a repeat though. Yeah, I noticed with regard to the screenplay, I didn't recognize the names of anybody who wrote this, but I did notice that it had 4 writers. And fuck hell does that show? Because this was all over the place. I mean, the story structure...
Maybe that's why it was all over the place. You got 4 different people.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And like I said, the story was fine. It was functional. It did everything that it needed to do. The story structure, I think, was a problem because it starts out literally all over the place. I mean, we started, I think, in Poland.
Yeah.
And then we're in Vegas. And then we're in... I think they went to Switzerland eventually. And then they go somewhere else. I'm trying to keep up with who's where and what's going on. And then...
Well, that's why they tell you in subtitles.
Yes, I know that, but
we're in Westchester, New York
now. But it's
now.
Subtitle after subtitle after subtitle. Like, okay, we're in New York.
You know what's another weird thing about well, not only this but other movies too is, so Kevin Bacon's character Sebastian Shaw, he's supposed to be a Nazi, and then he speaks perfect American English.
That's what I was thinking.
And then Eric Lintner, Magneto, he's the same way. Why does this always happen in movies? It's so weird to me.
It is, and I think that the guy who plays Xavier was doing a Scottish accent.
He was the only one keeping up the accent.
But I thought that Xavier was supposed to be like English, and he came out as more of a Scotsman. I did.
Really?
I liked Xavier. He was a really good standout character.
Well, I think the guy who plays him was James McAvoy. I think he might actually be. I think that's his name. He might actually be a Scotsman. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
So maybe his real accent was just coming off.
If I couldn't see him and I just heard the voice, I would think it was Ewan McGregor. It was so
really
fucking yeah. But he played a good character. I liked his performance. I liked the character that he played. If I go back to see because I know they're going to do a sequel. If I do the sequel, I'm probably going to go for him and for Mystique because Mystique was nice.
Yeah, except she's not going to be in that human form all the time. Only when she's in spy mode.
I don't care.
I
do
the blue mode.
Blue.
You see, I was kind of agreeing with what was his name, Hank? Beast. I was like, I don't know if I don't want to bang this blue chick. I mean, go ahead and turn back into Rebecca Romaine there if you could.
Honestly, I'd do it either way. But
you know what, I probably would too. Who am I kidding?
Speaking of the sexual issues, though, I noticed that they were really, really playing the sex appeal card. Like every single female character is taking their clothes off every 5 minutes, and they're all wearing hooker boots.
If you've ever seen like Emma Frost in the comics,
no,
she was like that a lot.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, January Jones, man. I'd love to see those two.
Usually, when people do that, it's a telltale sign that they don't really have a lot of faith in the material, and we're like, maybe if we put lots of half-naked girls in
everybody, and especially young men.
I'm not complaining. It's just it was very
I'm complaining because we didn't see any nipples. You know, you couldn't even. It's almost like they CGI out camel toe too. It's like, come on, at least
they probably did.
Give me a little something.
But the last thing I wanted to say about this was, my big kind of stopgap is that I'm not a big X-Men fan. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I liked the first movie, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to watch it if it was on TV. I would probably watch it if there was nothing else on.
Are there any comic book characters or anything like that you really are into?
I like Batman. Batman.
Everybody likes Batman.
Well, but that is the only comic that I've ever actually sat down and read.
That's right. You told me that before.
Yeah. I like the superhero and comic book movies when they're done really well. But the thing is, like,
they're done really well, few and far in between.
They are, but they have been getting better. I mean, they have been getting progressively better. Like
the only thing is, it's almost like they're diluting the market with.
They are. It's oversaturated. What do we have now? We've got Thor, who I don't know who he is. I know you probably do, but I think most people probably aren't very familiar with him.
Well, I think most people know him more from
the Norse god,
the Norse mythology standpoint. Yeah.
But they probably aren't going to know the hero, at least not that well. They might be aware of his existence. People are probably aware of the Green Lantern's existence, but I don't really know who he is either. And
they all exist, of course.
Well, I'm done. You know, but there is a way to make a really, really great movie out of a comic book or a superhero thing. This isn't a great movie. I've heard it described as a great movie, and I don't know
I've heard it described as a piece of shit, too.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a piece of shit, and it's not great. It's one of those movies that is good.
It's just,
yeah, if you have money...
You want to get out of the house for a couple hours.
But a matinee. Don't pay full price for this, because this is the perfect matinee movie. If you've got nothing better to do and it's the middle of the day.
So we turning into Spill now? I'm gonna say hi, matinee.
It's not quite that bad, no. In this case, however, yes, I would use if I was going to use their rating system, I would say low matinee, mid matinee.
It's just matinee.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just I don't really have much to say about it other than that. Really, it was fun.
Yeah, for the most part. You know, it's a good summer popcorn. Other buzzwords for movies.
Yeah,
enjoy, kids.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there you go. All right.